president of Guinea-Bissau says he has survived a coup attempt after being under heavy gunfire for 5 hours on Tuesday. Umaru Sissoco Embalo said the attackers tried to kill him and his entire cabinet at the government palace. He adds that many others had been killed in the fighting on both sides, but he did not know the exact numbers. Providing little details, President Embalo also said the attackers are linked to drug trafficking in the country. Gunfire erupted near government buildings on Tuesday in the capital, the West African nation, where the president was attending a cabinet meeting.
A convoy of Guinea-Bissau's President Umaru Sissoco Embalo arriving at one of the scenes of the attempted coup attack on him earlier this week that left 11 people dead. Embalo at the scene on Thursday called on the people to stop the provocation and trust the investigation committee and the justice system. This act was committed by a group of bandits who wanted to take power under the orders of another group like them. Look, I am here with all the military leaders, including the acting chief of staff. It's just to tell you that what happened is really sad. This act will again make Guinea-Bissau known all over the world. I don't think it will make us worthy. Both the African Union and the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, have condemned the attempted coup. Guinea-Bissau, a coastal state of around 2 million people lying south of Senegal, has suffered 4 military coups since independence from Portugal in 1974, its most recent in 2012.
800 schools, nearly 800 schools in Mozambique have been destroyed by last week's tropical storm Anna. The country's education ministry says tents are now being erected to serve as temporary classrooms for the 300,000 students and 4,700 teachers that have been affected. Storm Anna hit southern Africa last week, killing more than 80 people and making tens of thousands homeless. The region is now bracing itself for a second storm, Storm Batsirai, that's expected to hit the region later this week.
4 people died after a tropical storm caused widespread flooding, power outages in Malawi. Power has been cut to most parts of the country as a torrent of water carried debris that has knocked down power lines. We have had no electricity since yesterday afternoon, and until now we are complaining because we cannot serve our customers without electricity here. Several families have now taken refuge in churches and schools. The power blackout has impacted several families whose lives depend on electricity. They are now demanding for faster repairs. The blackout has really affected me in a big way because my business depends on availability of power all the time. That is why I have come here to have my generator serviced. Maybe when the generator is repaired, I will be able to work and make some money. I am urging ESCOM to restore power as soon as possible. Cutting path of wet destruction across southern Africa, the storm has blown from the Indian Ocean island of Madagascar across Mozambique and into Malawi.
Mauritius has issued a Class 4 warning, the highest weather alert, because a cyclone is approaching the Indian Ocean island. Batsirai has also been upgraded to an intense tropical cyclone to reflect its strength. The weather is expected to deteriorate further with rainfall over the whole island. The cyclone is expected to pass at its closest point at 4 p.m. local time from Grand Bay, that's a tourist resort in the northern region, waves of up to 10 meters expected along the coastal roads in the southwest. The strongest gust recorded so far has been 151 kilometers per hour at Shams the Mar in the capital, Port Louis. In the meantime, UNICEF's representative in Ethiopia says children and their families living in Ethiopia's lowland regions of Afar, Oromia and the Somali regions are struggling to survive from a severe drought which is drying up water wells and killing their livestock and crops. Gianfranco Rotigiano says this is pushing hundreds of thousands of children and their families to the brink. Due to 3 consecutive failed raining seasons, the country requires urgent humanitarian assistance.
For nearly 2 years, the rainy seasons have failed in the lowland regions of eastern Ethiopia. The UN says more than 4 million people are facing critical water shortages. In recent months, the livestock they depend on to survive have been dying in their tens of thousands. Access for journalists in Ethiopia is restricted. The UN released this video from the Somali region. Hundreds of thousands of people are depending on health and nutrition support from the UN's Agency for Children. The UN says around 200,000 children are malnourished and the numbers are growing fast. At mobile clinics like this one, people can get some help. Vitamin-rich therapeutic feeding paste can help to bring children back from the brink. Most of the people here depend on herding livestock to survive. They have to walk further every month to find water. The pools where the animals drink are a fraction of their usual size. Getting out what's left of the water isn't easy, but it keeps thirsty camels alive. The UN's mobile clinics are helping some, but it says it needs about $30 million to reach all the people who are in need.
UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres is appealing to all parties in Ethiopia for an immediate cessation of hostilities. Speaking to reporters, Mr. Guterres said the people of Ethiopia continue to suffer greatly from ongoing conflict and bloodshed. The UN chief stressed that a cessation could allow for effective humanitarian access and relief to all affected populations throughout the country.
The people of Ethiopia continue to suffer greatly from ongoing conflict and bloodshed. For millennia, the tradition of the Olympic truce has called on all parties everywhere to stop hostilities throughout the course of the Games. As I prepare to leave for the Winter Olympics, I make the strongest possible appeal for all parties in Ethiopia for an immediate cessation of hostilities. And this can allow for effective humanitarian access and relief to all affected populations throughout Ethiopia. And these actions will help pave the way to a much-needed inclusive national dialogue involving all Ethiopians. I reiterate my appeal to all parties to follow the finest tradition of the Olympic spirit, to save lives, overcome differences, and find the path to real peace. Thank you.
3 people have been arrested in the Brazilian city of Rio de Janeiro over the murder of a Congolese migrant, a killing that was captured on video and caused public outrage. Relatives of Moise Kabangame says he was attacked at a beach kiosk after asking his manager to pay overdue wages to him. Footage released by police shows him being repeatedly beaten by 4 men with clubs and a baseball bat. The aggressions were said to have continued even as Kabangame laid motionless on the ground. Kabangame and his family arrived in Brazil in 2011 with his 3 siblings fleeing the armed conflict in the Democratic Republic of Congo, where at least 25 people have been killed after they were electrocuted by a falling power cable at a market in Kinshasa. Police say the high-voltage cable snapped and fell on houses and people shopping near the capital on Wednesday. Full footage posted to social media appeared to show the aftermath of the incident with several motionless bodies in puddles of water. It is not yet clear what caused the power cable to break. The police say the collapse happened at the Matadi-Kibala district on the outskirts of Kinshasa, but a lot of people died on the spot.